Chapter 10, Jonah. In the name of God, the gracious, the compassionate. A1, L30, R200. These are the signs of the Book of Wisdom. Is it a surprise for the people that we would inspire a man from amongst them, warn people and give good news to those who acknowledge that they will have a footing of truth with their Lord? The ingrates said,
Evidently, this is a magician.
Your Lord is God who created the heavens and the earth in 6 days, then he settled over the throne, he handles all affairs. There is no intercessor except after his leave. Such is God your Lord, so serve him. Would you not take heed? To him is your return, all of you, for God's promise is true. He initiates the creation, then he repeats it to recompense with justice those who acknowledged and did good work. As for those who rejected, they will have a boiling drink, and a painful retribution for what they had rejected. He is the one who made the sun an illuminator, and the moon a light, and he measured its phases so that you would know the number of the years and the calculation. God has not created this except for truth. He details the signs for a people who know. In the alternation of night and day and what God has created in heavens and earth are signs for a people who are aware. As for those who do not wish to meet us, while pleased and content with the worldly life, they are unaware of our signs. To these will be the destiny of the fire for what they earned. Those who acknowledge and promote reforms, their Lord will guide them by their acknowledgement. Rivers will flow beneath them in the gardens of paradise. Their prayer in it is,
Glory be to our God.
And their greeting in it is,
Peace.
And the end of their prayer is,
Praise be to God, the Lord of the worlds.
If God were to hasten for people the evil, as they desire the hastening of good for them, then they would have been ruined. We thus leave those who do not wish to meet us wandering in their transgression. If any adversity inflicts people, then he calls upon us on his side or sitting or standing. But when we remove his adversity from him, he goes on, as if he never implored us because of an adversity afflicted him. Thus the works of the transgressors are adorned for them. We have destroyed the generations before you when they transgressed, and their messengers came to them with clear proofs, but they were not to acknowledge. It is such that we will recompense the criminal people. Then we made you successors on earth after them to see how you would perform. When our clear signs are recited to them, those who do not wish to meet us said,
Bring a Quran other than this, or change it.
Say,
It is not for me to change it from my own accord. I merely follow what is inspired to me. I fear if I disobey my Lord the retribution of a great day.
Say,
Had God wished, I would not have recited it to you, nor would you have known about it. I have been residing amongst you a lifetime before this, do you not reason?
Who is more wicked than one who invents lies about God or denies his signs? The criminals will never succeed. They serve besides God what does not harm them or benefit them, and they say,
These are our intercessors with God.
Say,
Are you informing God of what he does not know in the heavens or in the earth?
Be he glorified and high from what they set up. The people were but one nation, and then they differed. Had it not been for a previous command from your Lord, the matter would have been immediately judged between them for what they differed. They say,
If only a sign was sent down to him from his Lord.
Say,
The future is with God, so wait, and I will wait with you.
When we let the people taste a mercy after some harm had afflicted them, they take to scheming against our signs. Say,
God is faster in scheming.
Our messengers record what you scheme. He is the one who carries you on land and on the sea. When you are on the ships and we drive them with a good wind which they rejoice with, a strong gust comes to it and the waves come to them from all sides, and they suppose that they are overwhelmed, they implore God, devoting the system to Him.
If you save us from this, we will be ever thankful.
But when He saves them, they then traverse through the land with injustice. O people, your rebellion is only against yourselves. What you seek out is only the consumption of this worldly life, then to us is your return, and we will inform you of all that you had done. The example of the worldly life is like water which has come down from the sky, it mixed with the plants of the earth from what people and the livestock eat. Then the earth takes its attractions and becomes glamorous, and its inhabitants think that they have mastered it. Then our judgment comes by night or by day, so we make it a wasteland, as if it never prospered yesterday. It is such that we clarify the signs to a people who think. God calls to the abode of peace, and He guides those whom He wishes to a straight path. For those who promote reforms will be good and more, and their faces will not be darkened or humiliated. These are the people of paradise, in it they will abide. As for those who earn evil, the recompense of evil will be evil like it, and they will be humiliated. They do not have any besides God, as a protector. It is, as if their faces have been covered by a piece of darkness from the night. These are the people of the fire, in it they will abide. On the day we gather them all, we will say to those who have set up partners, take your place, you and your partners, then we separate between them, and their partners will say,
it was not us that you served. God is sufficient, as a witness between us and you, we were unaware of your serving of us.
Then and there every person will know what it has done, and they are returned to God their true patron, and what they had invented has left them. Say,
who provides for you from the sky and the land? Who possesses the hearing and the eyesight? Who brings forth the living from the dead and brings forth the dead from the living? Who controls all affairs?
They will say,
God.
Say,
why then you do not show awareness?
Such is God, your true Lord. So what is after the truth except straying? How then you are turned away? It was thus that your Lord's command came against those who were wicked, for they do not acknowledge. Say,
are there any from those whom you have set up, as partners who can initiate the creation and then return it?
Say,
God initiates the creation and then returns it.
How are you deluded? Say,
are there any of those whom you set up, as partners who can guide to the truth?
Say,
God guides to the truth. Is he who guides to the truth more worthy of being followed, or the one who does not guide except after he is guided? What is wrong with you? How do you judge?
Most of them only follow conjecture, while conjecture does not avail against the truth in anything. God is knower of what they do. This Quran could not have been produced without God, but it is to authenticate what is already present, and to provide detail to the book in which there is no doubt, from the Lord of the worlds. Or do they say he invented it? Say,
then bring a chapter like it, and call upon whoever you can besides God if you are truthful.
No, they have lied about the things they did not have comprehensive knowledge of, and before its explanation came to them. Similarly, those before them denied, so see what the retribution of the wicked was. Some of them acknowledge it, and some of them do not acknowledge it. Your Lord best knows the corruptors. If they deny you, then say,
my works are for me, and your works are for you. You are innocent from what I do, and I am innocent from what you do.
Among them are some who listen to you, but can you make the deaf hear, if they do not reason? Among them are some who look at you, but can you guide the blind, even though they will not see? God does not wrong the people in the least, but it is the people who wrong themselves. The day we gather them, it will be, as if they have slept for only a moment of a day. They will get to know one another. Losers are those who denied meeting God, and they were not guided. Whether we show you some of what we promise them, or we let you pass away, then to us is their return, and God is witness over what they do. For every nation is a messenger, so when their messenger comes, the matter is decreed between them with justice, and they are not wronged. They say,
When is this promise, if you are truthful?
Say,
I do not possess for myself any harm or benefit except what God wills. For every nation is a time. When their time comes, they cannot delay it one moment nor advance it.
Say,
Do you see if his retribution will come to you by night or by day, then which portion would the criminals hasten in? When it occurs, would you then acknowledge it? While now you are hastening it on.
Then it will be said to the wicked, Taste the everlasting retribution. You are only recompensed for what you have earned. They seek news from you.
Is it true?
Say,
Yes, by my Lord it is true, and you cannot escape from it.
if every person that wronged had possessed all that is on earth, it would have attempted to ransom it. They declared their regret when they saw the retribution, and it was judged between them with fairness. They are not wronged. To God is what is in the heavens and the earth. God's promise is true, but most of them do not know. He causes life, and he causes death, and to him you will return. O people, advice has come to you from your Lord, and a remedy for what is in the chests, and a guidance and mercy for those who acknowledge. Say,
By God's grace and his mercy?
For that let them rejoice, that is better than all that they gather. Say,
Have you seen what God has sent down to you from provisions? Then you made some of it forbidden and some lawful.
Say,
Did God authorize you, or did you invent lies against God?
what will those who invent lies against God think on the day of resurrection? God is with great bounty to people, but most of them are not thankful. You do not engage in any business, nor do you recite any from the Quran, nor do you do any work, without us being witnesses over you when you undertake it. Nothing is hidden from your Lord, not even an atom's weight on earth or in the heavens, nor smaller than that nor larger, but is in a clear book. Indeed, for God's allies, there is no fear over them nor will they grieve. Those who acknowledged and were aware. For them are glad tidings in the worldly life and in the hereafter. There is no changing the words of God. Such is the supreme success. Do not be saddened by their statements, for all glory is to God. He is the hearer, the knowledgeable. Certainly, to God belongs all who are in the heavens and those who are on earth. As for those who call on partners besides God, they only follow conjecture, and they only guess. He is the one who made the night for your rest, and the day to see. In that are signs for a people who listen. They said,
God has taken a son.
Be he glorified. He is the rich. To him is what is in the heavens and what is in the earth. Do you have proof for this? Or do you say about God what you do not know? Say,
Those who invent lies about God, they will not be successful.
a short pleasure in this world. Then to us is their return, and we will make them taste the severe retribution for what they were rejecting. Recite for them the news of Noah, as he said to his people.
My people, if my position has become too troublesome for you, and my reminding you of God's signs, then in God I place my trust. So, gather your action and your partners together, then make certain your action does not cause you regret, then come to judge me, and do not hold back. But if you turn away, then I have not asked you for any reward, for my reward is with God. I have been commanded to be of those who have peacefully surrendered.
They denied him, so we saved him and those with him in the ship, and we made them to succeed each other, and we drowned those who denied our signs. So see how the punishment of those who were warned was. Then, We sent messengers after him to their own people, so they came to them with proofs. But they did not want to acknowledge what they had already denied beforehand. It is such that we stamp on the hearts of the transgressors. Then, we sent Moses and Aaron after them with our signs to Pharaoh and his entourage, but they turned arrogant, they were a criminal people. So when the truth came to them from us, they said,
"This is clearly magic."
Moses said,
"Would you say this about the truth when it came to you? Is this magic? The magicians will not be successful."
They said,
"Have you come to us to turn us away from what we found our fathers upon, and so that you too would have greatness in the land? We will not acknowledge you."
Pharaoh said,
"Bring me every knowledgeable magician."
When the magicians came, Moses said to them,
"Cast what you will cast."
So when they cast, Moses said,
"What you have brought is magic, God will falsify it. God does not set right the work of the corruptors. So that God will verify the truth with his words, even if the criminals dislike it."
Because of their fear from Pharaoh and his entourage that he would persecute them, none acknowledged Moses from his people except some of their descendants. Pharaoh was high in the land, and he was of the tyrants. Moses said,
"O my people, if you acknowledge God, then put your trust in him if you have peacefully surrendered."
They said,
"In God we put our trust. Our Lord, do not make us a test for the wicked people. Save us by your mercy from the rejecting people."
We inspired to Moses and his brother, "Let your people leave their homes in Egypt, and let these homes be your focal point and hold the contact prayer. Give good news to those who acknowledge." Moses said,
"Our Lord, you have given Pharaoh and his entourage adornments and wealth in this worldly life so that they will misguide from your path. Our Lord, wipe out their wealth and bring grief to their hearts so that they will not acknowledge until they see the painful retribution."
He said, "The prayer of both of you has been accepted, so keep straight and do not follow the path of those who do not know." We helped the children of Israel cross the sea, and Pharaoh and his soldiers followed them out of hatred and animosity. But when drowning overtook him, he said,
"I acknowledge that there is no God except the one in whom the children of Israel acknowledge, and I am of those who have peacefully surrendered."
Right now. But before you disobeyed and were of the corruptors? This day, we will preserve your body, so that you become a sign for those after you. But many people are oblivious to our signs. We helped the children of Israel reach a place of sanctity, and we provided them from the good things, and they did not differ until the knowledge came to them. Your Lord will judge between them on the day of resurrection for what they differed in. If you are in doubt regarding what we have sent down to you, then ask those who have been studying the book from before you. The truth has come to you from your Lord, so do not be of those who doubt. Do not be of those who denied God's signs, for you will be of the losers. Those who deserved your Lord's word against them do not acknowledge. Even if every sign were to come to them, until they see the painful retribution. Why was there not a single town that benefited from its acknowledgement, with the exception of the people of Jonah? When they acknowledged, we removed from them the retribution of disgrace in this worldly life, and we let them enjoy until a time. Had your Lord willed, all the people on earth in their entirety would have acknowledged. Would you force the people to make them acknowledge? It is not for a person to acknowledge except by God's leave. He casts the affliction upon those who do not reason. Say,
"Look at all that is in the heavens and the earth."
But what good are the signs and warnings to a people who do not acknowledge? Are they waiting for the days like those who passed away before them? Say,
"Wait, for I am with you waiting."
Then we will save our messengers and those who acknowledge. It is thus binding upon us that we save those who acknowledge. Say,
"O people, If you are in doubt of my system, then I do not serve those that you serve besides God. But I serve God who terminates you, and I have been commanded to be of those who acknowledge.
Set your direction to the system of monotheism, and do not be of those who set up partners. Do not call upon other than God what does not benefit you or harm you. If you do, then you are of the wicked. If God afflicts you with any harm, then none can remove it except Him, and if He wanted good for you, then none can turn away His grace. He bestows it to whom He wishes of His servants. He is the forgiver, the compassionate. Say,
O people, the truth has come to you from your Lord, so whosoever is guided for himself, and whosoever is misguided against himself. I am not a caretaker over you.
Therefore, follow what is being inspired to you and be patient until God judges. He is the best of judges.